One of the biggest questions I get on a weekly basis in comments and older videos is, Steve, what rum brand should I look out for? Where should I start? Now, when it comes to rum cocktails, there are some amazing brands doing some really good things out there. Just take these three, probably the three big front runners, if I'm being honest. You know, you've got Appleton, you've got Plantation or Plantaray, as they've now rebranded to, and Don Q. You really can't fault any rums that these guys produce. However, if you were to ask me which brands truly excite me at the moment, then that list is slightly different. And actually, to many of you, probably not that obvious. But I really think these three brands that I'm about to show you really push the boundaries and are really pushing the big guys, if not surpassing them. So coming up in this video, with my cocktail head on, I'm going to show you the three brands that I think you should check out if you really want to take your rum cocktails to the next level. Hey rum friend, welcome back to the channel. But for those of you that are new around these parts, hello and welcome. My name is Steve the Barman, and right here on my main rum channel, it's all about fun rum education and cocktail experiments. So if that sounds like fun, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But if you want to check out my 5 other YouTube channels, they will all be linked in the description below. Now, as customary, I've got a question for all you experienced rum cocktail people. What 3 brands can you not do without? Put them in the comments below. Now remember, I want you to think about brands that really help cocktails stand out. Not just blend in, but really stand out and take the cocktails to the next level. Now, the first brand I want to shout out is Worthy Park. For me personally, this will be a controversial statement. I think they are the kings of Jamaica with what they are doing at this precise moment. Yes, Hamden is a phenomenal brand, but let's be brutally honest, they are very expensive for cocktail use. Now, I really wish there was a 4th bottle sitting right here, and that would be the overproof rum, but we don't get it here in the UK yet. But I have tried it twice. San has brought it over to the Rum Show last June in 2023 and Rum Fest in October 2023, and it's a phenomenal liquid, a cane juice liquid. But for now, I'll have to settle for their Worthy Park's other brand, Rum Bar Overproof. But having tasted the Worthy Park Overproof, it just blows that out of the water. Now, yes, the Worthy Park Single Estate Reserve would probably be classed as more of a sipping rum, but it's a great rum-fashioned rum, if you like. But for me, you know, it is a great, neat sipper. However, when it comes to cocktails, these two are phenomenal for the price, for the value for money, and for the taste. And I'm not just that these rums don't just blend into a cocktail, they really do elevate it. So the Worthy Park Select would be your standard, really kind of funky, only 40% mind, but it really does punch ABV rum. And your Worthy Park Dark, or your Worthy Park 109, is just your lovely, unctuous, dark Jamaican rum for your painkillers, for your dark and stormies and your hurricanes. I had a mental block there for a second, but it is just my go-to, alongside Plantation OFTD. But I do, even in a Mai Tai, this is my Mai Tai blend. Now, the next brand might be a complete shock to a lot of you, but remember, I said what brands are truly exciting me at the moment and make your cocktails stand out. And I cannot overlook Colon. It's a phenomenal brand. It's El Salvador rum blended with a high ester Jamaican rum, and it just works so well in cocktails. And I'll be honest, the 55.5% down here as a neat sipper really does fool a lot of people as well. That's really delicious neat. Now look, they have got 7 rums in their range, but I would kind of urge you to concentrate on these 5 that I've got here. Basically, these 2 over here, so we've got their normal 55.5% El Salvador rum that's blended with the high proof high ester Jamaican rum, and then they've got the same rum, but it's infused with coffee from El Salvador. I think that's where the coffee comes from. Both high proof, really delicious. They've got the same rums again at lower proof, 81 proof, so like 40.5% ABV. They are delicious, but for me, nowhere in the ballpark of these 2 for cocktails. And actually, when it comes to price, there's only a few dollars, a few pounds between them. So it's, in my opinion, it's really not even worth looking at this sort of 81 proof. But where this brand starts to take you on a little fun, quirky journey are probably these 3 rums, but I'm going to focus on these 2 for a second, because what you've got here is their Rumscal, which is 33% mezcal blended with that kind of El Salvador high ester Jamaican rum. And then you've got their Rum Rye, which is a 50-50 blend of 50% rye whiskey, again blended with that. Now, for rum cocktails, where you want that, like that little bit of mezcal, this works phenomenally well in something like a Mai Tai, just a one rum Mai Tai with a twist. Absolutely delicious. And that would be my favorite one out of these two. But simply, I'm not the hugest whiskey fan, but I have to admit, this is actually really, really good. Now look, when it comes to rum cocktails, a lot of us really do love sort of flavored rums, quirky rums. Now, my go-to banana rum would actually be Cargo Cult's banana rum. I think that is next level. I do really think that is great. However, this is quirky and this is different. This is red banana that I'd never heard of. And is actually a thing until I'd seen this rum. Yes, this is slightly sweeter, but it really does put fun twists on cocktails. Banana daiquiris with that are off the charts. And then the third brand I think you should check out, it's actually not a brand, it's a distillery. I cannot have one brand from this distillery and not part of the other one as well. And this is St. Lucia Distillers. They do have Admiral Rodney in their lockers as well. But when it comes to cocktails, you know, if I'm being brutally honest, the original, the Chairman's Reserve original, probably is my least used, but definitely the other 5 feature heavily. Now, for me, I think the original, it does make a really good Mai Tai, but it is more of your straight down the line mixing rum, rum and cokes, rum and gingers, simple cocktails. And I don't do too many of those. But for me, the rest of the range is light years above anything from Barbados or that. I really do have big love for St. Lucian rum. In fact, outside of Jamaica and possibly Martinique, I can't think of another country or island whose rums I'd rather have. Now, these rums feature heavily on this channel, so they should need no introduction, but just in case you do, look, the spiced rum is my go-to spiced rum. It's just that original rum, macerated, infused with real live spices. You know, it doesn't get any better than that. There's no flavor compounds or anything. It's just properly infused with that rum with real live spices. It is, in my mind, the world's best proper spiced rum. And when I say proper, I mean rums that have actually seen spices, not sort of flavor compounds that a lot of the bigger, you know, generic brands do. I'm going to move down here to the white rum. You hopefully would have seen the previous video on this channel where, you know, that just makes the best daiquiris. It makes the best mojitos. It's absolutely gorgeous white rum. You can easily sip that neat. But for me, it is just blind tasting, you know, even when I'm not blind tasting, I genuinely think that is one of the best white rums that I've got. But then for me, where Chairman's Reserve comes into its own is the Legacy. The Legacy for me is kind of like a little replacement for a Guyana and a Demerara rum. I'm not saying that is a Demerara rum, of course it's not, but it does give you those richer, unctuous notes that I absolutely adore from cocktails. This for me is an permanent always stop. But as I said, I can't have Chairman's Reserve and not have these 2 rums from Bounty. Their cheaper range. The brand new 151 is absolutely exquisite. Yes, it is a high ABV, but God, it tastes delicious neat. And that's my go-to for when rum cocktails call for like a lighter column still 151, a Cruzan or something like that we don't get here in the UK. This tastes absolutely sublime. And then you've got the Bounty dark rum, which again is not, it's very, very different to the Worthy 109. You know, they're not the same rums in that respect. But for those cocktails where you want something, a darker rum, but something a little bit lighter, this is just next level. Really, honestly, permanent stop. Now, I know there would have been some controversial choices in there for a lot of you, but am I right? Am I wrong? Would you severely disagree with anything I've just mentioned there? Let me know in the comments below. Now, before I sign off this video, a lot of you guys do know that I'm a big champion for British scratch rum. And I did say this is a video about brands that are truly exciting me at the moment. Now, as a caveat, do I think these brands really compete at an international level? Look, I'm not naive enough to say that they are up there with your Worthy Parks, with your Chairman's Reserves, but these guys are delivering some amazing juice, and I cannot wait to see where they are in the next couple of years. For example, hot off the press, I was with Ian from Outlier the other day, and he gave me about this rum that had been aging for 3 years in a Sauternes barrel, and he called it Peaches. Now, it hadn't been flavoured with peaches at all, but when you taste it, barrel proof, it was just a peach bomb. Absolutely delicious. These guys, Dropworks, Europe's biggest rum distillery, they are producing some phenomenal liquid. And then you've got my good mate down in just outside of Brighton and Hove, Goldstone. And for me, it's actually Goldstone, and I mean no disrespect for this, but are actually leading the way in the mass market because of all the range that they do. They've got the dark rum, which is phenomenal. They've got their spiced rum, which again is properly spiced. They've got the overproof, they've got the white rum, but then they've got that lime, that ginger and lime rum as well. Something for everyone on a mass market level. So where these guys will be in 5 years time, I don't know. But when it comes to the British guys, these are the ones that are really, really exciting me.